The commander of the police department of San Andres gave a press conference to talk about the captures that have occurred in the last hours in the archipelago.
Hello, Liz and Aldi TV viewers. I say hello from here from the police department of our archipelago because we want to talk about the press conference that the commander of the police gave in hours of the morning. In this opportunity, the commander talked about the different captures that they had in the last hours. One of them was for extortion.
The first case refers to an operation by expert personnel of the Gaula and the Sihin, where all the planning is done, and in the central sector of the island, the capture of 2 people was achieved. These persons had been making extortion calls and had been threatening with a firearm in a commercial establishment to generate intimidation and economic demands of more than 20 million pesos. Therefore, thanks to the complaint to the merchant, this capture was achieved to advance all operational activities to make possible the materialization and capture in flagrante delicto of a 23-year-old person and a minor of 17 years of age.
On the other hand, the commander also announced that they will have a day of the week in which, from her office, she will receive the community to meet their requirement.
Aquí, los días miércoles.
Here on Wednesday mornings between 8 and 12 o'clock, we are totally available for our community of the island. We will continue with the doors open as from the first day that I took the reins of this department, where we also reach the community in all forms such as community pods. Well, this time we will not only be there on weekends, but we will also open these doors that will not only be open on Wednesdays, but also 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
This is all the information I report from here from the Departmental Police Command. Continue Lisa in studio with more information.
And taking into account that this will be the arrival of the first cruise ship on the island during the pandemic, the Secretary of Health has managed the reception of foreign visitors in compliance with the biosecurity protocols. Live via phone call, we have the Secretary of Health portfolio, Julian Davis Robinson. Secretary, good evening, and tell us a little bit about how the biosecurity measures will be managed during the reception of this first cruise.
Sí, muy buenas noches. Un saludo especial para todos los televidentes.
A very special greeting to all the Teleislas news viewers. Yes, tomorrow a cruise ship will arrive that the Secretariat of Health through the departmental government we are going to receive. This is the first cruise of the season on the island. The procedure from the Health Secretariat is that sanitary visit will be made where the health status of all passengers and crew members will be verified, taking into account the International Sanitary Emergency and Resolution 111 of 2022 of the Ministry of Health and Social Protection, through the presentation of the PCR and antigen test for the entry to the country. Once the sanitary visit is completed, the other port authorities will be informed of the situation of the cruise ship so that they can carry out the institutional processes.
Secretary, and in the event that there is any suspected or confirmed COVID-19 cases on the ship, what will be the process to follow?
Si al momento de la inspección sanitaria,
If at the time of the sanitary inspection there is any suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19 among the crew or passengers, the person affected should remain in their room for isolation and recovery and for no reason should disembark, neither they or their close contact.
Thank you very much, Secretary. And it's this way entities are preparing to receive the Seaborne Ovation Cruise, which will arrive to the island tomorrow at 10 a.m. from the Central American country of Belize in the midst of the economic and tourist reactivation of the department. In face of this event, Teleislas News went out to the streets to find out the expectation of islands tourist service providers. In Teleislas News generates opinion.
For us as providers, it is very gratifying that new ideas and innovative things are opening up for our island. Since this cruise ship is arriving, new paths are opening up for us because tourism is our mainstay on the island, so we will receive new income, and I also think it is innovative due to the resources. Wonderful, because tourism is increasing. Maybe they come here and they buy something from us and it can be useful for our livelihood. I think the idea is wonderful because the more people come, the more work we have and the more the island moves economically. We live from this, from tourism, so we are grateful, happy and joyful. An excellent idea, a wonderful blessing and provision for the island at this time because due to the pandemic and the hurricane, we had a very low economy. It is excellent. It is a wonderful blessing for everyone.
And during the month of January, the Port Captaincy Office reports a high volume of visitors to the island's quays.
After the end of the vacation season, and according to the report of the maritime authorities, the flow of passengers to the different quays increased considerably. Likewise, the port captain emphasized that during the month of January, there were no maritime accidents.
Durante el mes de enero tuvimos un balance.
During the month of January, we had a positive result in maritime activities on the island of San Andres. We had a total of 3,842 sailings with a total of 72,910 passengers transported, of which the largest tourist destination was Johnny Key with a total of 23,635 passengers, followed by the Aquarium Key with a total of 12,522 people. We only had a violation of a boat. Unfortunately, we had no maritime accidents that have occurred on the island.
Offshore safety measures reduce the chances of a maritime casualty, according to the authorities.
Es muy importante que toda la comunidad.
It is very important that the maritime community, the maritime trade union, tourists, and personnel in general abide by the maritime safety measures aboard vessels in order to protect life at sea.
The Port Captaincy of the Department of San Andres is working on the implementation of an action plan to verify the conditions of all vessels.
Bueno, actualmente la Capitanía de Puerto San Andrés se encuentra realizando.
The San Andres Port Captaincy is currently implementing a contingency plan of inspections on corroborate the operational and administrative status of the maritime transport companies. Therefore, an improvement plan is going to be made to work with the Maritime Union.
And in other news, the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare calls for families to form foster homes in San Andres and Old Providence.
Throughout a press release, the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare invites families in San Andres and Old Providence to apply to be part of the foster care program, through which the rights of children and adolescents are under protection and guaranteed. The ICVF provided an economic recognition for the role of the foster family for the monthly support of the children and adolescents in their care. It also accompanies the process of transition to the new home, monitors and supervises the selected homes. Families interested in protective services can approach the regional campus of the Institute in San Andres Island with a professional in charge of the Family Care Substitute Program.
More than 100 fishermen have actively participated in the card registration to obtain their fishing licenses in the department. Workshops conducted by Secretariat of Agriculture. It is important to emphasize the immense importance of taking advantage of these workshops in order to enter the administration's database and to be able to access the benefits of acquiring a fishing license.
The Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries at the Cove Recreational House completed its third day, where 16 islanders fishermen were accompanied throughout the process in order to strengthen the productive activity, the main source of income for many island families. Thanks to the alliance between the departmental government and Fundamar Foundation and the Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries, efforts are joined to ensure the certification of people whose activity or trade is derived from fishing.
We can give a satisfactory report of the journey that we started this week since Tuesday, and we have registered approximately 90 persons who have attended in a participatory manner to the workshops and have managed to register.
According to Ramos, the people who have attended have registered either as associate of the different cooperative or as independent workers.
We make an open invitation to them to come to where we are located so that they can register for the certification of their card, which will be valid for approximately 5 years. The benefit that this workshop can give them is to obtain their card, and they will also be registered in the new program that is being developed, the RGP SAI, where basically they will enter a statistic in which we will be able to find all the data and they will be able to have their card.
About 90 people have attended the registration session developed by the Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries on the island in order not only to renew and deliver fishing licenses to fishermen but also to obtain a complete record of the people who carry out this activity.
And the following are the indicators of the current COVID-19 situation in the department.
As of today, February the 3rd, the Ministry of Health reported 11 new cases of COVID-19. Therefore, the islands reached 9,915 cases since the beginning of the pandemic. According to the data from the local health secretariat, there are 86 active cases, 9,649 recovered cases, 153 deaths, and ICU occupancy is at 12%.
And now it's time for sport news with Victor Fosalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. The Seahorse Skating Club continues to prepare its skaters for future competitions. Skating is a sport that requires a lot of continuity, discipline, and dedication, which is why the Garcia brothers dedicate the necessary time to it, instilling a lot of dedication to their skaters who are always present, even though rain, shine, or lightning. One of them is Nichelle Gutierrez, who told us more details about her training with the dedication and discipline.
We've been preparing for the next competitions, for the inter-school games, for anything that comes our way. We are ready and in shape, and we have the ability to face anything that comes our way. We can face it by skating hard and strong, and we have to skate hard until the end. Discipline is to come to the training sessions with all your energy so that you can train with all your spirit and give it all here. Even when you're tired, you have to give it all. You must go the extra mile. You have to do your part in fulfilling your responsibility. In addition, you must come every day, because if you stop coming one day, you've missed a practice session and you lose too much.
So nice to see the girls skating while many disciplines are dedicated to the sport of small wheels. And on the other end, the emotion of baseball continues at the Eduardo Castro Stadium. Let us watch. The tournament continues with a lot of excitement for the children who participate in this series of baseball games. Today, in one of the games of the tournament, the Loma Roots versus San Luis teams face each other. An exciting game that was won by the Loma Roots team 20 runs to 8. The excitement continues and the games will continue to be played. The goal is for these young players to gain much more experience. This is what Coach Rodolfo Howard told us.
It's very important, the reactivation of the baseball, to get the kids, them especially off the road and keep their mind occupied. And it's very important also to have them here that they can be the future of tomorrow of the baseball in San Andres, because we know that the baseball in San Andres is down. It's completely down. So this will motivate them to come out and play baseball, and also it's very important for the parents them to take consideration of them, and don't let them on the trainer them to accompany the children out here, and that will motivate the children also to come back in the baseball in San Andres.
Continuity processes undoubtedly contributes to the quality of the players.